harder and harder to surprise you, Captain.
What's up, lore masters? I really have to say that throughout the Xindi arc, this episode is probably the best for me up to this point. It questions the morals of the characters, the crew is pushed to the brink, and everyone is stressed. The stakes are high, they're palpable. The cliffhanger leaves you on the edge of your seat and makes you want to go into the very next episode to see how it ends. Hell, while watching this for my review, I wanted to do just that, and I've seen this series a dozen times.
There appears to be considerable activity around 2 of the inner planets. Numerous ships, all Xindi.
I'm picking up a large array of satellites. They're generating a detection grid.
Looking at the episode proper, it begins with the NX-01 Enterprise arriving at the Red Star. Finally, the culmination of the previous events have arrived. All of the decisions made to this point, all of the sacrifices, the deaths, the killing, leaving people stranded, it had all come down to this. They were close and were ready to take the fight back to the Xindi. But the question became, how? A large detection net surrounded the planet they needed to get to, and there was no way to bypass it without causing substantial damage that would be noticed. While figuring this out, the NX-01 Enterprise would place itself behind a planetoid in order to hide. They didn't want to be detected until they figured out what had to be done.
Look,
Sir.
we can't risk it. Fire.
While attempting to conceive of this plan, however, unfortunately they had missed a small listening outpost that was on that planet. The outpost had identified them before they realized their mistake. The installation, however, had no weapons nor any way of defending itself. Additionally, it would not be able to send any information while it was facing the NX-01. So basically, the enemy of humanity created a defenseless station and placed it on a planet where it ultimately could be destroyed before sending out the information. No wonder the sphere builders successfully outwitted the Xindi. Anyway, Archer orders the destruction of the listening outpost, and the Xindi there are killed. This largely due to the fact that the Starfleet crew couldn't take the risk of being discovered, even if it meant killing defenseless people. The tension and sadness of what they were doing can really be felt here. It's extremely well done. With the NX-01 undetected, as far as they knew at least, they would decide to use an ace up their sleeve. In a previous episode that barely had anything to do with this arc, and thus why I didn't cover it, the crew recovered an insectoid shuttlecraft. The really only important piece of that episode, so you're welcome. The plan would be to utilize this ship to get past the screen and identify where the big bad weapon of badness was. Trip and Mayweather are dispatched and ultimately do find it after some digging, realizing that they had to go underwater to identify where it was. They report back and a plan to destroy the vessel is hatched. Ultimately, the crew would plant explosives on the captured Xindi ship and send it back to destroy the weapon. It would need a pilot, and thus this would be a suicide mission.
An hour ago, I gave the command to kill 3 Xindi in cold blood. A month ago, I had Phlox create a living being in order to use some of its tissue. Then I watched him put it to death.
Sounds like you're saying this is some sort of penance.
I'm saying I won't order anyone else to die.
After everything that had occurred, everything that had been done, Archer orders that he specifically will deliver it. I do say a lot of things about Archer. I do not respect a lot of his choices, hell, even his ideas. But right here, in this moment, this specific point in time, I do believe we see the captain that the dialogue and the show tells us exists. We see a man who has taken stock of who and what he is, what he has done, and what he has become. And he takes responsibility for it.
It is crucial to history that you do not sacrifice yourself.
My concern is with preventing the deaths of billions of people. If that's a problem for history, then history will have to suffer.
While preparing for the mission, he would be contacted by the agent from the 31st century who tells him that he can't go, that he must not die on this mission. Archer demands that the agent return him to finish what he started. He couldn't worry about the Federation, whatever that was. He had to worry about the United Earth. It wasn't the future that concerned him, it was the present. Again, I think this is a great scene and character arc for Archer. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know about the Federation Starfleet. Hell, he doesn't know about the Federation. But we do. However, the captain can't really worry about that. His mission is to defend and take care of his people and save Earth. And that's what he intends to do. Fortunately for the future, the captain would be caught. Unfortunately, it would be by the reptilians. They torture him for a bit and says he'll tell them what's going on, but only if he's able to talk to Daygro. While talking with the other Xindi, he's able to convince the man to discuss all of this with the Council, and we do begin to see a fracturing of the Xindi themselves. Archer claims that the reptilians are in league with the Sphere Builders. And of course the reptilians aren't helping their case, as all they want to do is kill the humans. On top of that, the Xindi had actually identified where the NX-01 Enterprise was, and the reptilians begin to attack it. They demand that Archer stay with them to be tortured, and here we are. The Enterprise is about to be destroyed, and Archer is destined to a lifelong event of being tortured. End of episode. Recently, I've talked about build-up, how to do it right, and how it's done wrong in some Trek series. I truly believe that the Xindi Arc, for any of its faults, gets build-up right, and it shows real emotion. But all of these are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.